Sergey, I'm so deeply sorry for your unbearable loss. Have you been able to see Tatiana and your children? Have you been able to bury them?
Да, я успел, я доехал. Я ехал 3 суток, но
Yes, I've managed to bury everyone. I was driving for 3 days, and I broke in there and managed to bury everyone. I even managed to take away a pet dog
я прорвался
from there.
Sergey, I know you had a chance to speak to Tatiana the night before, and she had, it was so brave of her to try to leave. I know that she had waited to leave because she was, caring for her own mother. What do you remember from that conversation, your last conversation with her?
Я понял. Последний разговор у нас состоялся
Last conversation before her death. That was the day when already there was no water, electricity, gas, and we discussed. I spoke to her at 10 p.m., even though at that point there were no connectivity either. But I managed to get through, and we had a discussion about the potential evacuation. At the last moment, however, the convoy she was planning to travel with was shelled at and fired at, and then she came on foot to the bridge, trying to make an escape on foot.
Sergey, I have seen the pictures of her going to work, smiling, in what her life and your life was like a month ago. Can you tell me about her? I know that you've been together for decades, what we would call high school sweethearts. Can you just tell us about her so we know, sort of the woman behind that smile?
Да, мы прожили вместе 23 года.
Yes, we have been married for 23 years, and in 2012 we even had a second marriage, second wedding, because we wanted, at the church, we wanted to make our marriage lawful in the skies above us. She was a very cheerful person. She was the financial director of a large American company, and we spent lots of time together as a family. We loved bicycles. In winter, we went skiing. She loved very much planting flowers at our dacha, or countryside cottage. Basically, we loved our weekends to be very, very active.
Sergey, as a parent, any person around the world can't imagine your unbearable loss, above all of losing your children. Can you tell me about them?
Ну, я это называю войной в онлайне.
I call this the war online, because we used to be in our family, we used to use Google geolocation, and we used to see each other with my wife on Google Maps. And that morning, I noticed that there was a unusual geolocation between Kiev and Irpin. And then 20 minutes later, her phone moved to another location, to a hospital in Kiev. And I suspected something was wrong. And I asked friends to come to the hospital and find out whether there were any bad news. And then Twitter, there was a news on Twitter that in Romanivka there was mortar shelling, and that family died. 2 children, their mother and their father. And then I saw a photo on Twitter, and I recognized my children. I recognized their things and their clothes. And I called my friends to say that children are dead. Their bodies are lying on pavement. And I asked them, please, could you help me to find my wife?
Sergey, if anyone watching could learn something about Elisa and Mikita and who they were, what would you want the world to know about them?
Это были обычные веселые дети. Никита, старший сын, 18 лет.
They were normal, cheerful children. My son was older. He was 18 and he was in second year of university. He studied and wanted to become an IT professional, studied programming. And my daughter was 9 years old. And she liked dancing, painting. She studied English. They were normal, cheerful children. And we have here, where I am now, 4 families, all of us resettled from the Donbass area. And this house where I am now is where my wife had to be evacuated. I have here godchildren, and we will not leave Kyiv. We will stay here till the end.
Все вместе.